Come along with us this week as we visit Mount St. Helens and learn about the eruption that rocked the Pacific Northwest over 45 years ago. And then we head up to Rainier National Park, hoping to catch some beautiful sunset views.
Coming out of there at 300 miles per hour.
Actually, I was 10 miles southwest of Mount St. Helens on May 18th, 1980.
It's the one that Google tells me to go.
It's the that Google said. We are headed to Mount St. Helens today to explore. Where we go?
Mount St. Helens.
Yes, Mount St. Helens, but we're trying to decide which interpretive center to go to. Let's see what we got here. Bubba, which one do you think we should go to? Do you have an opinion?
Puff. Puff.
Would you like to put it in the comments below? 1 hour and 11 minutes, no matter which way you drive, apparently.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to go the long way because this is on private property.
Oh. But see, you already have the little red pin tagged. Is that where we're headed?
That's the Forestry Center.
Ah, Forestry Center, I guess. Here we come. So this entire bridge was taken out by the blast. Spirit Lake Memorial Highway is what we're on, which is Highway 504. That is a long ways down there.
Okay, well actually, I was 10 miles southwest of Mount St. Helens on May 18th, 1980, working on a Weyerhaeuser slash burn when the mountain erupted. And we were just pulling up to go to work, and my boss yelled, "Look, the mountain!" And there was a little tiny puff of smoke, and then it was an atomic bomb right in front of our face.
Wow.
And we were scared to death, but we couldn't figure out how come there was no sound. Totally silent.
Silent.
We were in the silent zone, and if you go watch the movie, and you go out of the theater to the left, there's an explanation of who heard it and who couldn't hear it.
That's fascinating. And then you helped replant the trees.
I planted trees for 10 years of my life, all over the
Wow.
Northwest, not just here in the blast zone, and we planted 18.4 million trees in 7.5 years in the blast zone. And they hauled out 600 log trucks a day for 3.5 years to salvage the timber.
That's crazy. The picture that we saw of Weyerhaeuser's log trucks just piled up with the logs after the blast is just it's insane.
Gary's got a picture right there. It's a color picture of the hillside right out here. And he's also got a color picture of the log trucks.
Oh my gosh, look at
That's
that.
the hillside right out here,
Wow.
right after the eruption. Color picture.
Talking about. He was talking about the silent zone. So he was within 10 miles of it. So he was in that range where he couldn't hear anything because the sound went up. That's crazy. Look at that. They have these books that have actual articles that happened and real photographs. Wow. Look at that. Look at the devastation. So, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this. After the eruption, which happened in 80, there were a series of small eruptions that continued to form, and they were the ones that caused the, like in the centers, remember this started to like dome up in the middle again? Because it was a huge pit to start with, and then it started doming, and they started worrying about it erupting some more.
After the eruption. So we're into that week in Weyerhaeuser. I retired 22 years ago or something. But they're actually into trying to have a 2% per year across the company. That's what they try to harvest on a 50 rotation, 43,000 acres.
We love this.
Here
They can touch the
that
pelts.
are all at that harvest age.
Yes.
But they've got a lot of acres outside.
So I was reading that one of the little plaques that when this thing exploded, the rock and the ash and everything come out of there. The initial, when it
Blast?
initially,
The initial blast or explosion?
was coming out of there at 300 miles per hour, and that's how come it just laid everything over with trees and everything.
The gentleman that I was visiting with in the Discovery Center was talking about how the explosion and the devastation, took 9 minutes to absolutely destroy everything. Here we go. Lassen Peak, Shasta. Medicine Lake Volcano. This is down in California. And then we cross into Oregon to Crater, Newberry Volcano, Three Sisters, Jefferson, Hood. They forgot Three Finger Jack in Washington. Adams, Helens, Rainier. Now we're in Washington, obviously. Glacier and Mount Baker. Mount Baker would be cool to go to. Then you can go up into Canada. This is all part of the Cascade Range.
In a matter of hours, the flood surged under the Tool River Bridge on Interstate 5, forcing closure of the main arterial between Seattle and Portland. Entire forests with logs hundreds of years old.
I think the part about this that really was kind of astounding to me is watching it on TV and over the years and seeing pictures and this and that. Like, I knew it was a mountain. I didn't realize how big a mountain it was. So one of the things for us is we checked into all of the hikes around Mount St. Helens, and there's a lot. There's some crazy, wonderful hikes that you can take all around Mount St. Helens. And when you look at the general maps, they tell you, you know, the symbols that like there's a bathroom or it's wheelchair accessible or there's a gift shop or that there's an observatory and those kinds of things, that it's a hiking trail, all of that. But what they don't tell you is, and we didn't realize this, we thought it was only in national parks that you could not bring your dogs. Many of the routes that we found around here that we wanted to hike, you cannot take your dogs on. So I really suggest, like hummocks, we were going to take our dogs on hummocks. You cannot take your dogs on Hummocks Rock. The only one we could find that you could take your dog on was right here by Coldwater Lake. We're heading into Mount St. Helens Visitor Center, which is down on Highway 504, kind of at the base. It's a few miles down. I'll put the number on the screen later, but we're gonna go in and check it out and see what they have to say in here. Steve's afraid of the bat? What's up with that?
Don't like that.
Let me see how much I can
Steve, it's flying around the bedroom. It's coming for you. I lived in Eugene when Mount St. Helens erupted, and I'm embarrassed to say this is my first time ever visiting it, though it's always piqued my curiosity. It was worth it. Go. But for now, we're headed north to our next destination. It's after work, and we are headed off to Mount Rainier National Park to see if we can get some beautiful views of the sunset tonight. Wow, look how dense the forest is in here. All the green and the trees. It's really beautiful. So to get into the park, make sure that you bring your America the Beautiful pass and your driver's license that you registered your America the Beautiful pass with. If you do not have them together, they will not let you in.
I read where they leave the these old growth trees right here along the road when you first come in, so that you can experience what it's like to drive through an old growth forest.
We entered the park from the Nisqually or southwest entrance. The drive up to Paradise is gorgeous, very scenic, and yes, very windy. It takes anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes to drive the 19 miles to Paradise, depending on traffic. We made a couple of stops along the way because we couldn't resist the views and the opportunity to get out and explore a few sights. Rumbling underneath the surface. Here it's tumbling rocks down. Christine Falls is approximately 10.4 miles in on the left. The turnout sneaks up on you, so watch for it quickly. Parking is on the right. Mount Rainier is known for its hiking, but I have to say, even if you only make it to the parking lot, the views are phenomenal. We decided to hike up to Myrtle Falls, which is about 1 mile round trip. While it is paved, and they do say it is stroller and wheelchair accessible, there is a 164-foot elevation gain. I was not fully prepared for the beauty of Mount Rainier. And while we were successful in our photo opportunities, we've decided we have to come back. Join us for our next video, where we bring you back to the park and take you on a couple of hikes with us. Please help us out. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, and ring that bell.